All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. All right. This is your brother Yeshaya, and this is gonna be a different kind of video. It's gonna be um basically looking at another perspective of the infamous, Isaiah 4:1. Now we know, that in these days, okay, I'm gonna start off by reading it and then get into it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So we know this, we understand the scriptures, we know the scriptures. Okay, and brothers have foresight through the Spirit that yes, the Lord is gonna, provide us with women in the day because it's gonna get so bad out here, so hectic. Okay, evil times, or a time of evil. Okay, which means bad times, ill times. Okay, that these women, which outnumber men, okay, probably 7 to 1. Okay, in this world, that they're gonna have to, choose up. They're gonna have to, share a husband, which is going back to how it how it was in the ancient days. Okay, but not to go off on a tangent. Basically, what I was getting at is that when this does go down, all right, will it go according to your liking? Because, when we envision when brothers envision Isaiah 4:1, they just think, oh, you about to have all baddies. It's gonna be all baddies, all the women that denied you in the world. They're gonna come back. The ones you really wanted, they're gonna come back, begging. Okay, which um, they will come back begging, but it's the fact if Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah has it, mapped out to where are you going to accept her or not? Okay, because maybe, hey, and I speak as a man, but I don't see brothers getting every, you know, the fruit of their, desire, pretty much. Okay, like you know, is I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna say. Basically, we're not gonna be able to, get, um, you know, the Scarlett Johansson's or the Zoe Saldana's. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just personally speaking. Like, women I like. You know what I'm saying? Some women I deem attractive, but everybody has their own, um, cup of tea or whatnot. All right, but anyway, on preferences. But I say this, man. Okay, that hey, it's not gonna turn out how you think it's gonna turn out. All right, brothers, and especially with younger brothers that's in the faith. Okay, you got younger brothers that just their whole motive or their whole end goal, okay, is to get to Isaiah 41 where you the bitches, the women, okay. But when mature in this thing, of course that is a that I love women like the next man, okay, and basically, when the Lord starts giving us, women, okay, especially in Isaiah 4:1, it might not be your cup of tea, but then the thing is, the Lord doesn't look on the inward man, okay. The Lord looks on the let's see, the inward man. I hope this is making sense right now. This is the book of well, nah. Yeah, the Lord looks on the inward man. Okay. So, and that could be the same for our women too, because a lot of these women, they are some women, okay, they just didn't have their, you know, they didn't get blessed this go around with looks, okay, and how this world is set up. That's the Lord, probably preserving them because as we know, these this world that we're currently in is set up, okay, where you got pretty privilege, and basically the women that are pretty much more attractive. I ain't saying this is the case for every woman, but more overly over than not. I mean, more overly, when you see a attractive woman, she's been through her life. Okay, she's been pampered. She's been given her desires. Okay, and that can pretty much spoil women because they're like children. All right, so they don't have room to, or they don't have the time to character build. Okay, because a lot of these women that are not attractive, so to say, like sixes, fives, fours, or whatnot. Um, hey, they've been character building this whole time. Okay, they've been getting they've been getting looked down upon. Okay, they had to take the low road. All right, which basically breeds humility. Okay, and these women, and I ain't gonna like I said, this is not for all of them, because you got women that are attractive. All right, but and they're they're women of the Lord. Okay, so yeah, it might not turn out how you want, brother. And what are you gonna do when a girl that a woman that you known throughout the world, and she's always been cool with you. She never had a bad report. She's always been cool, like a homegirl type thing. And then she comes up to you, okay, humble, all right, and wants to be your wife. Are you gonna turn her away because she isn't up to par, or are you gonna trust the Lord? And if He tells you to take her, no matter how she looks, are you gonna take her? Right? Sirach 9:8. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. So, yes, of course we love beautiful women. We prefer, but the thing is, there are every woman on this earth is not created equally. All right. So with that being said, every woman on this earth is not beautiful. All right. And then on the back end, every woman is not unattractive. But I say that to say this, that when the times that we're coming into, even the attractive ones are not going to look attractive. Okay, so how much more the ones that are not attractive to begin with? All right, and like I said, a lot of the women that aren't pretty much that attractive, they are, they pretty much possess beautiful characters. Okay, and that's just a lot that the Lord had it to them, and they're going to get their beauty back in the kingdom. They're going to get what their hair back in the kingdom. Okay, like the scriptures say, that was a curse. All right, instead of a rent, be a girdle. Instead of long hair, okay, baldness. All right, instead of a sweet smell, a stink. All right, those curses are getting reversed. All right, but turn not thy eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as fire. So, yeah, of course, brothers have been in a situation where you got the one that you wanted. Okay, she's beautiful, she's bad, da 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 da, but her attitude stinks. You know, she's pretentious. Okay, she doesn't care about anybody but herself, because that's how the world made her to be. And there's a lot of women out there like that, and they're gonna get humbled, of course. But what about the women that's already humble, that may not look uh, attractive? Okay, so to say. All right, what you gonna do? Are you gonna turn her away because she's not attractive, or are you gonna take her up if that's what the Lord uh, ordained it to be? Right. So Isaiah 3 and 24, and this is it right here. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there should be a stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of a well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Okay, so that's that was the curse. Okay, that the Lord put on our women, and really they didn't start seeing it until after like the 40s or the 50s. Because hey, you look at women from the 40s, 50s, to 60s, you rarely had black women or so-called Israelite women that were out of shape. Okay, they had their hair, they had their afros going on, the natural hair was going. Okay, um, I saw something yesterday. A guy was going on and he was saying that basically the women don't smell the same. So they had different smells. Okay, they had they smelled like pink or moisturizer back then. He said when you would open a car full of women in the '60s, it would be a different smell. Okay, when you open a car uh when you open a car that's full of women in the '60s, you would get a whiff of what? Pink oil moisturizer, um, 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 cocoa butter, Tussie. That's what he said, Tussie. And you remember Tussie from your grandma having that in her closet, that Tussie, right? I mean, in her bathroom, and they had them fireballs back then, those jawbreakers that was cinnamon, were basically fresh in the breath. So you would get a whiff of all that, a pleasant smell. But nowadays, what you got? Okay, you open up the car, you're gonna smell Black and Mild smoke. You're gonna smell tequila. You're gonna smell shrimp and crab boil. Like. But anyway, yeah. So hey, and most of our women are still in this estate. Okay, so say you run across a woman, and the Lord has her for you, but she has bit of a stomach, or she's not the most attractive. And I say that because I'm thinking of a couple women that I know, um, that, and I'm not being a hypocrite, because I have in my mind, there's a couple women that always show me love where I go, like CVS, gas. I mean, employees, gas station employees, and stuff like that, and they just have a beautiful spirit on them. And I'm like, okay, well, Isaiah 4:1, if you come my way, then hey, if the Lord has you to deal with you, I'm gonna deal with you. Okay, and they might not be a looker, so to say, but you gotta look at the spirit. Okay, the Lord looks at the spirit. All right, when it comes to us, how much more are we looking at the spirit when it comes to our women, man? Okay, you got to look at the spirit, because they're gonna get their looks back in the kingdom. Okay, so and I hope this makes sense. All right, Genesis chapter 29 and verse. We're gonna start at 17. Now this is um the account of Jacob. And Jacob, when he went to work for Laban. All right, he got tricked because he loved Rachel, because she's beautiful and well favored, and Leah was tender eyed. She was all right, but Rachel was bad, and he wanted Rachel, but he got Leah. Now what did he do in this situation? Did he say, yeah, nah, I don't want Leah, forget that, and treat her bad? No, all right, because the Lord set it up that way for him to have two wives, and Leah was the first one, but Rachel, the one that he really wanted, he got on the back end. So I'm gonna read this. This is the book of Genesis 29 and 17. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, "I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter." And Laban said, "It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me." And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had for her. And Jacob said unto Laban, "Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go unto her." And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, "Shoot, man, boy, hey." Jacob was such he couldn't see past that veil of lust that hey, he, I mean, rightfully so, this was his wife, but he couldn't even see. He didn't, he was blinded, by that passion that he had for Rachel, that he didn't even see it was Leah. Behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, "What is this that thou done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore thou hast then beguiled me." And Laban said, "It must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Um, Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years." And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave her Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. So yeah, so he didn't get what he wanted on the first go round. Okay, that might be us. We might have to, deal with, certain women on this side. Hey, even on this side. Okay, most of us brothers probably didn't get the, so-called the woman that we wanted. Okay, but hey, we deal with it if she's decent, and she's locked in, because being locked in with your man is more attractive than just being attractive, just looking good. You know what I'm saying? Being locked in, self-subservient, decent. I mean, docile. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Those are the qualities that we want women to possess. All right. So, uh, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15, and it reads, "If a man have two wives, one beloved and one hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated." Now, Deuteronomy 21 and 15, this is part of the nastiness of the scriptures, okay? And this proves you like you have multiple wives, but it says if you have one wife and you hate one and love the other, okay, it had to be something where I don't know, you were in love with her, and then you just like, I don't know, something happened. She probably did something. She probably farted or something without, and it slipped out, and then you look at it like, man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it could have been anything, but anyway, um, but anyway, not to go too far off, but it was something that had to happen where he, basically he either. I doubt that this situation speaks to him hating his wife off jump, but either way, I don't know how. But either way, I'm just saying if this situation was because of hate that came later, okay, you still got to deal with it. Okay, so that, and I'm just really just shining a light on this one because you're gonna have women that that basically you're not gonna like, but then it's still your wife. Okay, some brothers are dealing with that right now. So you got to look past these looks, man, and it's not gonna turn out how you think it is. You're not gonna get the baddest, you know, younger Jennifer Lopez looking, goddamn, you know, shit, just the finest women you could think of. All right, I know brothers got different preferences, but uh, yeah, it's not gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? But it is gonna be some where we're gonna be surprised. Like, okay, hey, Thawadi, how about some y'all shot? But really, really, women gonna be more of a burden that day anyway, man. Okay, brothers gonna be on the move. Brothers gonna be doing this. Brothers gonna be doing that. But women are still comfort. So I see how the Lord is gonna do the balance. But yeah, this lesson right here is just to another perspective on Isaiah 4:1. You get what I'm saying? And I hope it was edifying the brothers. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 12. "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir." So that's how you know that every type of woman is going to be coming your way. All right, and what are you going to do? You're just going to push aside the ones or reject the ones that aren't that don't look good. All right, but their heart is right, or you're just gonna take all the bitches that look good, okay? Because it said that like in Isaiah 4:1, they should be saved by childbearing. So you gotta, if you're gonna save them, they gotta have a baby, right? So are you gonna just weed out all the decent or maybe non-attractive women just for the attractive women? Okay, and you think that they're gonna all gonna be right, all right, or you're just gonna go through the spirit and accept what the Lord gives you, whatever comes your way. We're gonna have a discernment of who the Lord has for us and who He doesn't. All right, and hey, I'm sorry to bust your bubble, brothers, but hey, it might not turn out how you want it to, but it's still gonna be Isaiah 4:1, nonetheless. All right, so this is the last one, Isaiah 32. And verse 1, "Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness and princes shall rule in judgment. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as waters of water, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So there you go. All right, hey, so we're about to be sought after. Okay, Lord willing, we be a part of the elect. So hey, just think about that, brothers. And I'm thinking about it as well. Lord put the spirit on me to look at different, you know, different variables of Isaiah 4:1. All right, so Lord willing, I was edifying. I want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect.